ahead and maybe do a coffee talk today. Forgive me, I'm like halfway through my coffee. Dealing with puppies, not an easy task. Anyway, so I started something fun today. I started Camp National Novel Writing Month. That is where you set a goal for the month and you try to meet it. My goal that I set this month was 50,000 words. That's typical with National Novel Writing Month if you don't know what it is, which is totally understandable if you don't. Some people ask me all the time, what is NaNoWriMo? What are you talking about? It's a writing challenge, and it really is one of those times when I get to sit down and challenge myself. It gives me writing accountability. I have two friends who I'm doing it with, who are in a cabin with. I'm not going to name them, but because they kind of are doing it on the down low also. But, you know, they're great friends. They're actually at the university. Well, one of them graduated from the university, and another one is currently in the MFA program with me. They're both fantastic girls, and it's just a way for me to stay accountable for this new book. I had a writer's block for 5 months. Actually, during that time, I failed Camp NaNoWriMo for April, and I was trying to write cheap romances. Well, actually, no, I was trying to write another novel, and it didn't happen. My iMac was out of commission at the time, so it kind of was really hard to write, because I had to keep on going to EKU to do my homework, and, I mean, I can write in public places, but writing on a computer that's not mine kind of gets on my nerves, especially when I don't have my fonts that I've bought. So, yeah. Anyway, I digress. I have decided I am writing the 5th book in the Cheap series. Now, this is my 8th novel. But it's actually going to be my 7th novel by the time that it's published, because I actually have another story that I published in Kindle Worlds called All This Time. And All This Time is coming down, I think, like July 20th or something like that, because the Kindle Worlds program has ended. It's really sad. I really love my Damon Elena fanfiction. I will never deny that I started off as a fanfiction writer, because if I had not started off as a fanfiction writer, this book would have never happened. This is my baby. This is my heart and my soul, Cheap Guitars. I actually recently rewrote it, and I republished it in March. It's about 20,000 words longer than it was originally, and it has come a long way. I think in the first story, there was a lot more strife going on. She actually even almost died in a car accident, and I completely took that out of the story. It's much different now. That is not in there, so that's not even a spoiler. But this book has my heart, and this is the book that started the Cheap series. And I'm at a standpoint where I'm not sure. I know it's weird. I'm hugging my book. I love it so much. I started it when I was going through kind of a rough time. I was going through a divorce, and I had just been rejected from a creative writing program in Louisville. I originally applied because they didn't require the GRE. I don't know what the graduate records exam or something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah. So they didn't require the GRE, and I still haven't taken the GRE because I'm terrified of it. I don't do well in standard testing because I have dyslexia. But yeah, I got rejected. I was going through a divorce, and I remember reading a romance novel that I had downloaded from Kindle and thinking, God, you know, I respect the author for writing what they've written, but I can do this so much better. It was kind of a narcissistic moment, and I actually even wasn't gonna write Cheap Guitars I wasn't gonna originally even put it in novel format. It was just gonna be a Damon Elena fanfiction because I was really enjoying writing at that time. I started writing this right around the time that I was writing All This Time, and you know, it just kind of exploded into something else. It exploded into an entire series on me. I love that about writing. Like, you kind of, for me, starts off as an image in my head. Like, this morning, You guys are gonna laugh. This morning I started off, I had this image of these two characters ripping each other's clothes off and getting into a hotel room and just getting ready to bang. So I literally started off NaNoWriMo with a bang today. You know what? I'm gonna own it. That's kind of like this morning I had that image in my head and I had to get up and write it like at 5 a.m. And my boyfriend thankfully is used to that by now. But so I just had to write it. And with this one, with Cheap Guitars, I had this image of this girl who was just going through a divorce. So her situation was kind of similar to mine at the time in 2012. She was getting ready to go through a divorce. She had just moved home, and she had this guy that she cared about in high school, but they had lost contact because of a big, huge misunderstanding that they had. And I had this image in my head of them having this fight about Barbie dolls and G.I. Joes. And I just went with it. So I am like almost 200,000 words later, and I am working on my 5th book in the series. Anyway, so I thought that I would talk a little bit about my process in NaNoWriMo. Now I have recently started plotting. Let me point something out to you. You guys are gonna laugh at me, but I really feel like this is a testament to how much I've grown as a writer since 2012. These first 3 books were not plotted. They were not plotted at all. Now these two, not my books. These 2 have been rewritten completely. I felt like I had to rewrite them, especially because Cheap Lies, when I originally started it, it was only about, I want to say 70 pages, and my cover design, the aesthetic on the shelf didn't please me, so I decided to write more to it. And really, since I've fleshed these stories out, I started writing them after I got into Southern New Hampshire University's master's program, and since I've started that program, it's like I'm writing so much better since I got into snow. And actually it was with that program that I actually plotted this book. I used some beat sheets and I used some sticky notes, and yeah, this book, even though it's a little shorter than the other ones because I feel like we edited a lot, I still feel like this is probably my strongest story in the series. And if you want to pick it up, you can. I mean, it's on sale right now. Shameless self-promotion. But Sophie is probably one of my favorite characters besides Kat. Now, Kat is, okay, so kind of tell you the story, like a background, like basic of the story. This one right here, this is about Elise and Brandon. So Elise has a sister named Kat, and then on this one, Charlie. Now it kind of revolves all around about what happens to this character right here. Her name is Gwen, and then I have Charlie. I feel like I'm doing show and tell, but whatever. Charlie is kind of my military guy, kind of like he's like, to me, he's the penultimate book boyfriend. I know that sounds silly, but I do write new adult contemporary romance. So book boyfriend is kind of like the general term that I think of when I think of Charlie. I mean, all of my stories, the new one that I'm working on is actually about Kat and Charlie. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spoil it in case you are one of my readers and you're watching this. Well, some of you have seen the blurb, but in case I do attract new writers, I don't want to spoil anything. But Cheap Promises is the title. In the last video, I said I can't hide anything. Well, I'm not going to hide it. It's Cheap Promises is the next book. And I'm trying to think. I'm plotting this story out, and it's going so much better. Like I said this morning, I'm a planter. Now, I don't know how anyone else does this when they're doing National Law Writing Month. I know that some people have a full story outline. I think one of my friends does, who's in my cabin. And some people, they just write by the seat of their pants. So that's like the best thing about NaNoWriMo is you can write by the seat of your pants, write bad. I actually started Cheap Sunglasses during the November National Law Writing Month, and I was blown away with what I had. Actually, I think that Cheap Tricks was another NaNoWriMo book. I think I wrote that last November. No, not last November. That would have been the November before that, in 2016. When did I publish this? Hold on. I'm sorry. This is bad. I should know when I publish my own books. Yeah, I published it in 2016. So this would have been the 2016 NaNoWriMo. Yeah. So that one, you know, I had it fully plotted out, and I was doing really well with it. But with this one, I'm kind of plotting and pantsing at the same time. I have this really cute Aaron Con. Sorry, my dog just tried to bark me. We're gonna ignore that. He's a puppy. He's 12 weeks old. So anyway, so I have my plot in my little cute Aaron Condren notebook. I love these things. I got this on discount on their website, and it's really great. I've torn a couple pages out because I messed it up, but I take a page and I dedicate a sorry, it's kind of blocked out. I dedicate a chapter to each page with all the scenes in it, and I kind of go into a little detail. I have, like, on the next page I have like a notes section, and then what I'll do after that is I'll go, I know it sounds like a lot of extra work, but this actually honestly helps me. What I'll do after that is I have 4 of these, and they're in different colors, and I'll just write a little brief summary of the scene, and I'll put it on there. And for me, that helps me to see, okay, well, this one's pink for the romance, this one's green for the antagonist. There is an antagonist in this novel, I'm not going to say what. And then there's the yellow for generic plot, so that would be like Kat building, you know, having time where she spends time with her. I think my puppy just ran into the wall. Anyway, you know what, I'm just going to plow through this because he's not going to stop. So I also have, like, yellow for generic plot, and there is an antagonist, so I'm not going to tell you what it is, and I think that, hold on, let me see what my yellow one was. Oh, the green was the antagonist, and I have some flashbacks in this one, so that was, blue. So, the reason I do that is because I can see, well, you know, this is mostly romance, so I want it to be evened out, and to have an even number of romance scenes, right? So that just helps me see it visually, and then I will take some of that stuff and, like, all my notes I move in here, or I have in here, I move into Scrivener. Now, Scrivener is fantastic when you're doing National Novel Writing Month, especially if you have a series that you've been working on. I have every single book in there. Every single book that I have written. So, all of these, every single one of these, are in Scrivener, and Scrivener is really great because it will save everything to your like, just save everything. Like, I've not lost a chapter when I write in Scrivener since I started using Scrivener more. So yeah, maybe if you guys want me to, I'll do kind of like a walkthrough of how to use Scrivener. I know how to compile. I'm really good with compiling. I would say I'm a beginner a beginner moderate user. Like, I know how to do certain things. I know that you can format actual books and ebooks with it. So I actually cut the video short because he really actually did worry me. He does run into the wall a lot. He is a puppy, but he's fine. I just thought I would point that out. I know I laughed at him, but that's because he's constantly running into stuff. He's like the biggest klutz. As you can see, the teddy bear is okay. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. But I think that I'm going to do this Cheap Promises NaNoWriMo blog update once a week. And just give you just let you know how I'm doing in my writing process and what's going on, how I'm doing. And I really feel like this will help me stay accountable. I will probably have the word count for every single day because I have my happy planner, and I don't want you guys to see this part, but I am planning on not only tracking my word count here, but also up here. So I will give you guys updates on everything, and just let you know how it's going. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit the notification button, and subscribe. I am planning on, trying to work on a schedule on when to put up more video. Like, if you have any video requests, go ahead and send them to me. I'm more than happy to help. I want to help other writers. I have, I've been self-publishing myself since 2013. So I know a little bit about it. I can, I'm even willing to help you learn how to format your own books, or anything like that. If you have a question, just go ahead and throw it at me. So thank you for watching the video, and have a great day, or great week, and happy writing. Write all those words.